All right, ladies and gentlemen, next we have a keynote speech from the CEO and founder of BluSense Diagnostics, Mr. Robert Berger. Let's welcome Mr. Robert Berger.
Okay, thanks a lot. So we are BluSense, and we are developing a point-of-care platform for testing mosquito-borne diseases such as dengue and Zika at the point of care. So why? Maybe next slide. This one is not. Okay, so why do we want to do dengue? Dengue currently affects 400 million people every year, and it has been increasing 30-fold in the last 50 years. So we believe there is a huge need for having a better diagnostic platform at the point of care. So, just one second. So we talked to users and asked them, what do you expect from a point of care platform, and what would you like to have? So the answer, what they came up with is, we need to have a quantitative platform with a high accuracy. So we need to be able to measure in the sub-nanogram per milliliter concentration range. We need to differentiate between different markers, and we need to do it in parallel. Also, we need to move away from a centralized lab. So we want to do it at the point where the doctor actually is in contact with the patient. And it has to be very simple with a minimum training for the user. So this one is currently the state of the art, a lateral flow test. So it's a very cumbersome to use test. It's only qualitative. It's 5 manual steps. It takes half an hour. It takes a lot of blood, and it's very cumbersome to use for the doctors. What we propose is a solution that allows quantitative results with only one step in a matter of minutes, and from only one finger, from one droplet of blood. So where we want to be is right here, between laboratory accuracy and the portability of a rapid test. So as I said, we aim at making it very simple to use. So like with a glucose test, you just prick your finger, you take a drop of blood, put it in the cartridge, put the cartridge in the reader, press play, and 10 minutes later you get the results. And it is wirelessly connected, so you get the data directly in the hospital system and in the cloud, and it's immediately available to start treatment. At the moment, we are developing the system in collaboration between Denmark, Copenhagen, where we do everything related to the fluidic development and the assay development, and here in Taiwan, where the development of the cartridge and the hardware happens. So this is how the cartridge and the reader looks at the moment. So you can see it's very small and portable, and it can actually go right on the desk of a physician. Now, how do we achieve that we have in a small device a high accuracy and a high reliability? We need to combine a lot of different technologies. On one hand, we have optomagnetic technology-based detection. That's our core IP, which we developed at the University of Denmark. We need state-of-the-art centrifugal microfluidics to automate every assay step to avoid any user interaction. And then we use low-cost Blu-ray technology to build the actual reader and keep the cost low. Now let's have a look at the technology, how it actually works. We use magnetic nanoparticles, which have been functionalized with antibodies. And in the presence of the antigen, so for example, of the marker for dengue, they start forming clusters, and these clusters is what we detect. So the system setup is actually very simple. We just need a pickup head. It's the same as in a Blu-ray player or in a PlayStation. We need 2 electromagnets and a photodetector and a chamber in the middle where we have the sample. Now what happens in the chamber there is we have these magnetic nanoparticles and we shine laser through, and now if we don't have a magnetic field applied, the particles are just randomly distributed. If we apply a magnetic field, what happens is the particles align with the field and the intensity of the light passing through changes. If the field goes back to 0, the intensity goes back. And same if we change the direction of the magnetic field. Now if we add the antigen, what happens is the beads form clusters which have a different dynamic behavior when we apply the magnetic field, and that results in a different transmission of the light, and that's the signal we measure. So the physics is a little bit tricky behind, but what's interesting is these are the first results we achieved with dengue. So as you can see here, that's the concentration of the dengue marker. And for high concentrations, we get this signal. And then if we go lower in concentration, the signal goes up. And over there, you can see the concentration curve. And all of this we recently published in Nature Scientific Reports, if you're interested. So we aim to start patient testing early next year. Now let's have a quick look at the centrifugal microfluidics. There's one video. So this is how we automate it. So you can see the blood there, the buffer, and the magnetic particles down there. And everything happens automatically. So the user just puts in the blood. Can we start again? The user just puts in the blood, and it automatically gets separated. It gets in contact with the beads. Mixing, everything happens automatically. There's no user interaction necessary. Okay. And this allows us, of course, to achieve it very reliably and accurately. Now, what we plan is to make different test panels for different applications. So the first one will be for severity. So this one is to assess if you have dengue and how severe it is. Then another very interesting market is to differentiate between dengue and Zika, for example. They have the same symptoms, but treatment might be different. And then more for research applications, we have surveillance, where we are interested in which kind of virus strand you actually have. Now, with our technology, as I mentioned, we can do all the antibody-based detection, but we can also use it for RNA detection. So we can not only do immunoassays, but we can also do molecular diagnostic. First results on Zika, which we also published, and we can go down very low in concentration. So next year we plan to come to market with the serology and antigen panel and molecular diagnostics in the year after. We have a lot of partners lined up in Italy, Malaysia, and Brazil who are very eager to get their hands on our devices. Some NGOs who are interested in our work, a lot of papers if you're interested, and most importantly, all the people who did all the hard work here in Denmark, in Taiwan, and of course I have to thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Trade Chamber to bring us here and give us the opportunity to talk. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Berger.